in Bali, very serene, very, very peaceful. But things haven't always been like that in our lives, and we've been in some pretty dark places. And I'm just going to ask Cross what made him particularly want to start looking for more answers about life.
Well, I haven't got to tell you, we've been in some pretty dark places, not very often, but approximately 6 years ago we were in a very, very dark place. And I've done the usual. I bought all the self-help books and the study books and how to get rich in half an hour and all the different bits and pieces. But by buying so many over a long period of time, it tended to confuse me. And then about 6 years ago I was introduced to a book called The Science of Getting Rich. And one of the statements made in that book was, if you follow exclusively and exactly what it tells you to do in that book and disregard everything else, you will ultimately get rich. And that appealed to me at the position I was at in that time.
Yeah, it was good. We did the course together, and it taught us a lot about ourselves. It asked some very penetrating questions, and it was definitely a voyage of self-discovery. But through it all, we learned so many lessons, didn't we?
Yeah.
What would you think, you know, as a main lesson that you pulled out from it?
To be honest with you, I think the main lesson and the main thing that I've got out of this is that no one can do the press-ups for you.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, read the book, not just the cover.
That's it. And
do the hard work.
I have bumped into a lot of people during the time that I've been actually teaching and talking about this self-discovery journey, really. And a lot of people just expect it to happen. They don't expect to put any effort in. And it's the same as anything else in life. You will only get out what you put in. And that's one of the basic, most obvious rules of life. If you plant, just drop a seed on the concrete, nothing will happen. But you tend a little bit of earth and look after it and care for it, and it will grow. And that's basically how much control you've got over your life.
Yeah, we found some amazing things happening while we were doing the course, things that were beyond coincidence. And we got so excited by saying, you know, by recognising these things and saying they are definitely the universe acting for us. And I think for me that was the most exciting thing, watching it happen.
Yeah, I think, you see, what we tend to do is we tend to go through life randomly bumping about like a pinball on a machine. And when you realise that you've got total control over your life and what happens to you, it's great. And we look back over periods of time and we go, oh yeah, that's what happened, or that's why that happened. Because you have got total, absolute control over your life. And that's the first thing to accept. Now, a lot of people need proof and they need evidence and they need the, you know, the bottom line as to how it happens, and E equals MC squared and quantum physics and all that. And you don't need that. You do not need that. You've just got to ask someone who's made it work for them and just believe them. Let them make all the mistakes for you and then just follow through.
Why do you think that so many people latched on to The Secret, the Rhonda Byrne Secret, and took that on board so wholeheartedly?
Well, basically, I mean, there's nothing wrong with The Secret. The law of attraction is a universal law that has been around since the world was formed. I mean, whatever it is up there, that's one of its major aspects, is that what you give, you receive. You've seen it in every religion in the world. But with The Secret, it didn't mention action. And it was like The Secret has planted the seed onto the concrete. And that's where it lays, unless you dig a bit deeper and start preparing the soil and actually put the we can cut that now. And that's where it stays, unless you actually prepare the soil. So what happened is The Secret set a lot of people off on a journey but it didn't really give any direction for that journey. It was a lot of people that had had success in their lives sitting down telling everyone else, you know, this is what you do, blah, blah, but they didn't give them any tools. And that's the biggest failing of it. And I think it's made a lot of people very disillusioned. If it's given people the effort to search and look deeper, that's great.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It was very simplistic. It's almost like going to a gym and talking to you know, a body fitness expert and saying, you know, I want to be like you, and them saying, yes, you can be like me, and I can take you from what you are to me in 6 weeks. And you say, great, how much? But unless you put the work in, you're not going to get there. And this, I think, is with The Secret. A lot of people watched it and thought, easy peasy, think this, law of attraction, think it, it'll come to me. But it's not quite as simple as that. Work has to be put in. Don't you agree?
I do agree, wholeheartedly.